The most comprehensive Lithuanian art museum in America is located in quite an unlikely place, in Putnam, Connecticut, quite far from everything else. And I am talking now to Jack McGowan, who works in this museum already for 5 years. So what is ALKA?
So ALKA is the American Lithuanian Cultural Archives. At ALKA, we have a library of 40,000 books, and we have an art museum with various paintings, crafts, wood sculpture, photographs, assorted ephemera from Lithuania.
Yeah, so here, for example, are various Lithuanian, let's say, Lituanica donated by Lithuanian Americans. Juozas Kariskas, in this case, was a famous businessman. That's how ALKA Archive and Museum was created, through donations of Lithuanian Americans. Here we see various artworks by Lithuanian American artists.
Yeah, we have a lot of folk art. We have some modern art. We have a lot of these lithographs from Lithuania, these traditional woodcuts. Have a nice collection of those.
These are works of Antanas Rūkštelė, who painted Lithuanian traditional countryside at the time when many Lithuanians had to be refugees in the United States of America because Lithuania was occupied by the Soviet Union. Which artworks personally do you like the most here in the museum?
Which one? Oh, that's a good question. I like this woodcut a lot. This is one of my favorites.
And what does it show?
So this is, I think this is descriptive of pagan times in Lithuania. But I think it's just a very interesting design, interesting subject matter. Here is more kind of modern art. We have some portraits and landscapes.
And here on the right, there are traditional, miniature versions of traditional Lithuanian wooden crosses, which are a UNESCO inscribed World Heritage, immaterial World Heritage.
Yeah, we have a great selection of these wood sculptures, wood carvings.
A lot of the things are related to occupation of Lithuania, like this one, for example, combines the Lithuanian cross with hammer and sickle as a showing of how hammer and sickle was like destroying Lithuania basically, and made Lithuania, communists made Lithuanians slaves. So these things are pretty interesting for us to see because, of course, in Lithuania itself at the time, such things could not be created. Crosses alone were controversial enough in atheist Soviet Union, but of course, things such as these, like a cross being destroyed by hammer and sickle, it was impossible to just imagine of being created. Something also of interest here, I think, are these ribbons of various Lithuanian organizations. So every Lithuanian organization used to have these like 100 years ago, yeah. And this black side used to be for like after death, yeah, to put on that colorful side in more happy occasions. So it's interesting for me, like coming from Lithuania, because in Lithuania we don't have this either. So this is something that's Lithuanian Americans have developed maybe from other ethnic communities and inspired by other ethnic communities. It's interesting that this museum kind of combines things that are interesting for people from Lithuania because they are things created by Lithuanian Americans, and also things that are great, I think, in researching your own roots, such as Lithuanian folk art, for example. And then there's Lithuanian professional art. Some of these authors are famous enough, like, let's say, Vytautas Kasiulis, for example. He even has his own museum dedicated to him in Vilnius. So he is quite famous artist in Lithuania itself, and some of his works are here. So we visited ALKA first time 6 years ago, and back then there were talks, just as now, that well, it's far away from everything, and maybe it's like there is no time for anybody to look after it, and so on. And so when coming back this year, I am happy to see you here, and I'm happy to see that there's much more order here than 6 years ago. So what you have been doing here in ALKA?
Well, so when I started working here, I rotated the artworks, and I put up a new display and tried to create exhibits, with like pictures with like this is the more modern section here, and we have landscapes over there and portraits. Just tried to neaten up, create displays like this that were symmetrical and a little more organized, try to make it more presentable.
It's interesting for us as we are creating Destination Lithuanian America map of Lithuanian heritage in America, the link to which you can see, that a lot of the things here are actually from other places in America. For example, this bust here was originally located in Tautininkai home in Boston, Massachusetts. It was closed, so like many Lithuanian institutions. And when Lithuanian institutions get closed, often they donate many materials to places such as ALKA here. And also many families of deceased Lithuanian Americans donate things to ALKA or other archives. And so it is a unique place to see much of the Lithuanian history that has unfortunately disappeared in some parts of America.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally we get donations of boxes of books or paintings, other things to display in the museum. We've cataloged many, many books over the years, but we still occasionally will get donations.
You said you have 40,000.
We have 40,000 books.
Titles, basically, or books.
Well, we keep 2 copies of every book. After that, additional copies we'll donate to charity. But we have 40,000 total books.
So about 20,000.
At least 20,000
different copies, mostly books published by Lithuanian Americans, but also other books from Lithuania or from America about Lithuanians.
Mostly just books of Lithuanian interest, whether they be in English or Lithuanian. We also have some foreign language books. The director is McGowan, and they can contact her to set up an appointment to visit the museum. We are usually here open on Thursdays, depending on what time Mirga gets here. I'd say usually from about 10 o'clock until maybe 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
I see. We will also describe details on who to contact here in the comment section and the description of the video section below. And there are more Lithuanian heritage sites such as this one, even though ALKA is among the most comprehensive museums. But you can watch videos and interviews from all of these Lithuanian heritage sites here on this channel. If you are interested, please subscribe.